And now let's talk about obstacles or barriers to creativity. As an artist and as a business leader, I believe I have experienced all of these at one time or another. As I talk about the barriers, consider the creativity obstacles you are facing. The first one has to do with negative self-talk and our own inner critic. That's what's going on when you doubt your own ability. We talk a lot about this throughout the course. Everyone's creative. If you constrain yourself by telling yourself that you lack creativity, it can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, and your ability to be creative is severely compromised. You are already creative, but you need to believe it to make the most of it. Some people get paralyzed by the need to be original, but there are no absolutely new ideas. So give credit to those who have gone before you and know that your take or your version is legitimate. Sometimes you overthink and censor your ideas before they even get fleshed out. Self-censorship is that inner voice that holds you back and tries to prevent you from making a fool of yourself or looking stupid. It's the negative thoughts that come into your mind, such as that will never work, or that idea of perfectionism. Of course, we all have fears: fear of failing, fear of embarrassment if we try something that hasn't been done before, fear of change, where we find ourselves rationalizing, oh, the way it's always been is good enough. We all have creativity myths that need to be busted, like creativity is reserved for iconoclasts. I can't learn to be creative. Only the young are creative. Only people with experience are creative. Only people who can draw are true artists. We also have our own filters of how we view the world, and sometimes those filters are narrow and rigid. They are old thinking. Functional fixedness is a psychological term referring to seeing only one obvious way of looking at a problem. The more you realize that there is more than just one right way forward and that there really are infinite possibilities of solutions to problems, the more you expand your filters. Being paralyzed by analysis is another impediment. Feeling the need to go back again and again to earlier steps in the creative process without making any meaningful difference in the outcome. Not being at your best is a definite impediment to creativity. If you are not rested and nourished, if you have a lack of sleep, exercise, healthy food, fresh air, if your mind can't quiet down, and there is the issue of time. Lack of time is often my excuse, and so I know this one well. The excuse, I don't have time, is often just a rationalization because we are all choice makers. Even when I was at my busiest in corporate life, if I was being completely honest, I could have made more time for creativity. I believe my other fears held me back from being more creative, and I used lack of time as my internal excuse and rationalization. I yearned for self-expression and didn't allow myself the time for it. So why was I surprised to remain unfulfilled and unexpressed? When this happens to me, I'm telling myself a story. I am containing and constraining myself within a narrow horizon. I'm living within narrow limits. I am playing small. When I decided that creativity is really important to me in order to live a more fulfilled life, then I made a deal with myself. Okay, it's time to expand, to develop into broader perspectives. If you are like I was, you may have fallen victim to the thinking that something out there will make my life work better for me. When we do the inner work and reflect on our life, we grow larger because we begin to truly know ourselves. It requires courage to have this kind of scrutiny about your life and ask, what did I do and why? Where did it come from within me? For me, creativity has always been a major catalyst to understanding my life, and so I make time for it, even if it means I deprioritize other things. And that might be true for you as well. So if you are telling yourself that you don't have time to be creative, maybe call yourself on that. So to recap, there are obstacles and barriers to creativity. What are the primary obstacles for you? Your inner critic and self-censorship? Creativity myths like, I am not creative. Fears of failure or rejection or embarrassment. Old thinking, narrow view, lack of vision. Not being at your best. Distractions. Or telling yourself that you don't have time to be creative. Please write down the 2 or 3 main obstacles to your creativity and what steps you will take to address these. If you get stuck, please reach out to me for help.